This is Spoiler.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the 2021 Oscar Pick'em Show.
Hey.
Hello.
We'll introduce our hosts on the first pick. We have a full boat. Everyone from Spoilers is on tonight.
Let's go.
So we have the spreadsheet for the audience at home. We're revealing the categories to the spoiler men as we go. Say who you are, where you're recording from, and what your pick for animated short film was. I'll go first. This is Pappy from Louisville, Colorado, and I picked Burrow.
This is Korey, Kylo Ren memes, for animated short film, of which I have seen none, which is going to be a recurring thing for my picks in the Oscar pick'ems here. I chose If Anything Happens, I Love You. So I picked it completely at random.
This is Mikey recording from Goshen, Indiana. And yeah, I didn't watch a lot of these movies either, but I chose You for animated short film.
No, it's If Anything Happens, I Love You.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, the row didn't fill in all the way, so there's just an extra line that says
Does that
you.
change your pick, Mikey?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, like the text wrap?
What order are we going in here?
The order of column D on the Google sheet.
This is Brett. I'm recording out of Fort Wayne, and I picked If Anything Happens, I Love
You.
You.
That's good. See, this is some inside shit that the listeners are going to have no idea why this is funny.
It's a text wrapping joke. They get it. They've used Google Sheets before.
This is Josh from Goshen, Indiana. I also chose If Anything Happens, I Love You. I did watch a couple of these. My favorite of which is probably the Genius Loki one. It's just kind of like a weird drug trip. It's kind of cool.
Did all of you guys have a meeting beforehand and go over picks?
No.
Yeah.
No,
looking at picks?
it was definitely a random pick.
Something strange is afoot.
Well, If Anything Happens, I Love You takes up 2 lines, so everyone's twice as likely that people would have
That's
picked
true.
this.
This is Stevie recording from Elkhart. I didn't watch any of these, and I picked Opera because A Night at the Opera is one of my favorite Queen albums, so there you go.
This has definitely got a good shot, Stevie.
There we go.
It's weird. You've never seen anything like it if you guys get a chance
I've
to
never
watch
seen it.
No, I'm saying, it's super unique.
Skip me, I already went, yeah.
Sorry, Pap. This is Jordan. I chose Genius Loki? Loci? That one.
Low-key.
La
It's
Chai.
French. It's French, so
Low-key
it's probably
genius
low-key.
That's
Brett,
my
which of
pick.
these was your favorite?
My favorite, probably If Anything Happens, I Love You, but it's a really hard watch, and Burrow was probably the cutest.
So I'm going to go ahead and whiten the next column, which is live action short. So for the listeners at home, too, we did something a little bit different this year. We instated a rule where you're not allowed to look at the odds, the Las Vegas odds, the odds favorite. So the picks might be a little bit random this year. Might have a little bit lower scores.
Stevie
What
scores.
happens if
year.
you do? What's the punishment if you look at the odds, Pat?
Well, you know how in the Lord of the Rings episode, there's a ring bear and a golem? If you look at the odds, you're the Neglia, which is the equivalent of a golem for these intents and purposes.
Shots fired early.
Oh,
Half of the people are going to be outraged by that. Half of the people are going to have no idea who that is. That's the only way that joke
Shout
is
out to
going to land.
Mikey. If you want to collab, hit me up. Big Dumb Movie.
Oh, God.
So yeah, let's go again. Live action short film. I picked The Letter Room because I think that has Oscar Isaac in it, and I feel
does.
like that's what Academy of voters are going to vote for.
Yeah, this is Korey, Kylo. I also picked The Letter Room. Just sounded like a good title.
Mikey, I chose Wide Eye. Same reason. Sounded like a good title.
Oh, sorry. This is Brett. I went back and forth on this one. I picked Letter Room, though.
Don't know much about these, Josh here. I chose Two Distant Strangers. I read it had some sci-fi elements to it, so.
Yeah, it's Groundhog Day mixed with... Never mind.
What? What? Such great content right there. Just leave them hanging, man.
Mixed with
It's Groundhog Guy. Black guy wakes up every day, and every day he gets shot by a cop, and he goes back to sleep and wakes up and keeps trying to get out of it.
That's probably gonna win.
It's definitely right up there. It's I would say it's got a good shot.
Based
it
on
my
the
turn?
odds or what? How,
I didn't look at the odds, but
Almost got
got
him.
a
Almost
good
got him,
Favorite
Josh.
to win in some circles. Yeah, Stevie, go ahead.
Almost
I
got
did
him.
not look at the Vegas odds. I promise I did not look at the Vegas odds.
It's got
He
a
says
good
the
shot.
Vegas odds. He's specifying.
I didn't look at the odds at all. I didn't look at odds.
This is Stevie. I picked Wide Eye because, as opposed to what? I mean, it just sounds cool. I don't know. As I said, I haven't watched any of these.
For the same reasons as everybody else, this is Jordan. I chose Two Distant Strangers. Just sounded cool.
Okay, we'll keep it rolling. You don't need to announce who you are for this round and going forward.
You sure? I want the people to know.
It's kind of nice. This
I
is
like
This is
it.
Korey, and I disagree.
This is Pappy, recording from Louisville, Colorado, for the documentary short subject category. I picked Hunger Ward. Looks like nobody else picked what I picked. I have no idea. It sounded like Hunger Games, so I went with
Oh,
that.
it's not.
I picked Colette.
Sad.
I also picked Colette.
This is Brett. I go 2 spots after Kylo Ren memes, podcaster for Big Dumb Movie.
Yeah.
I picked a love song for Latasha.
Kyla, please don't collaborate with Matt Neglia, please.
Don't take
so
sides
sad.
against the family.
Yeah, we're trying to start a rivalry here.
Thank you, Brett.
Yeah, of course.
This is Josh. I also picked a love song for Latasha. And just so you guys know, I go 1 after Brett, who goes 2 after Kylo Ren memes. Big Dumb
Air
Movie.
horn.
I did not know that.
20-minute pod, boys. Let's keep it going.
This is Stevie, and let's see here. I go 1 spot after Josh, and it looks like 3 spots after Kylo Ren Memes, who's creator of Big Dumb Movie. I picked Do Not Split because it seems like something someone would tell me, and I would still try to split. So that's why I picked that.
Airtight.
Yeah.
What a reason.
You didn't choose that because of your love for M. Night Shyamalan?
I do love Split. I do love that movie.
You're incredible. I chose Colette. Pappy, 10-4, over and out.
Perfect.
This is Jordan.
That's our aunt's name.
Well, I like that strategy too. So also, listeners at home, well, like I said, we're revealing these as we go. At the end of our picks, whoever, anyone can pivot 1 pick. So you can change 1 pick based on what everybody else had picked for strategic reasons.
Strategic.
But for makeup and hairstyling, I went Mank because it feels like people like Mank and it's going to win some awards. So maybe here's a chance where it will.
Now it's starting to get into the area where I've seen a couple of them.
There we go.
I actually chose Emma on this one, and I chose it because I think the makeup and hairstyling are legitimately really good. One of the few things I liked about that movie.
Not a good movie?
I liked it.
People liked it. I didn't like it. Clueless is better.
I chose Ma Rainey because I heard people hated on Mank and Hillbilly Elegy, and Brett showed us a screen cap of Pinocchio last night, and it was horrifying. So
It's a video.
Ma Rainey was pretty much the only choice left there.
I also picked Ma Rainey as some pretty good costumes, makeup, and hairstyling in that movie. So
What is it even about? I have no nothing.
Ma Rainey was a real blues singer in like the 20s, and it's like a bottle episode pretty much. Most of the movie takes place them recording a session, and she's kind of a nightmare, and they're all wearing like 1920s. They're all, I mean, they're in Chicago, but they're, it's 1920. They're not super welcome. So it's just,
They wearing zoot suits?
no, I wouldn't say that, but
Prohibition.
it's just,
Flappers, yeah.
it was okay.
This is Josh. I chose Ma Rainey too. Basically, I just heard some of the people at Collider talking about how they thought this one was going to win a few of the below the line ones. So put it there.
So Collider's allowed, but the odds are not.
Wow.
Wow.
You said
Josh
Vegas odds,
ousted
man.
himself.
Is we're not allowed? I mean,
Josh drank his own poison.
I read, man. I'm sorry, I read. I have a subscription to Entertainment Weekly, man. I just didn't look up any odds.
Oh, wow.
Half neglia, some would say.
Yeah.
But Stevie, go ahead.
Real half neglia.
Yeah.
I picked Hillbilly Elegy because I hated that movie, and out of the 50 people I know that watched that movie, they all loved it. And I think the Academy wants to like bring more viewership in, and I think Hillbilly Elegy at least getting 1 or 2 Oscars is that way. So that's why I chose that.
Stevie, I also chose Hillbilly Elegy. I don't know. I think the Academy might have a hard-on for like making popular actors and actresses look like hillbillies. So that's
I
mine.
hate that movie, but yep, let's keep going.
It was bad. I watched like 3/4 of it. Hated it.
I liked it.
Costume design, a lot of overlap in the categories. I went Mank again. Probably a bad strategy to double down on the Manx. I feel a pivot coming in. Either call him H or I for myself. But Kylo, go ahead.
Emma again for me.
Ma Rainey again for me.
Ma Rainey.
I went with Mank. Might have to switch with Pappy.
Ma Rainey, trailer looked cool.
Ma Rainey, because I heard the same thing about them winning some awards, as Josh says, below the line.
Production design.
Oh boy.
Damn it. Shit.
Pap's going all in on Mank.
Everybody
Wow.
picked Mank or Tenet. I feel like a fucking fool right now. I picked Mank, as did you, Kylo, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, also Mank. I don't know. I knew some of them are going to go to Mank, and I was just trying to like fit in like where I could.
Have you seen Mank, Kylo?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Did
I mean,
you,
it's
Pap?
a
No,
nice
it looks
looking movie.
it looks
Oh,
boring
geez.
as shit.
I
I
heard
liked it.
So
not
boring.
great things about Mank. So I'm
We watched
surprised.
it right after we watched Citizen Kane, and it makes it a lot cooler, in my opinion, if you do that.
I'm sure it does, but like it's a David Fincher movie, and it's a movie that's sucking Hollywood's dick. If it was good, it'd be winning all the awards.
Ugh, man, I don't know. It doesn't make Hollywood look too good, and it was in a really weird
Interesting.
time. So,
Well, we have to check it out. Sorry, I think where would we leave off?
Mikey,
I chose Tenet for obvious reasons.
Mank.
Tenet.
I chose Tenet because if you're going to have a movie you can't hear, you might as well look good. So I chose Tenet.
It ain't winning best
Tenet,
sound.
which is a nice segue to our next category.
Best sound, new category.
oh boy,
Jordan. You hear the reaction from the live studio audience. We're not even going to say it. Everybody picked Sound of Metal except for you, Jordan. What did you pick?
I picked Mank. I was surprised, like I said, that Tenet wasn't nominated. This was my Kylo strategy of like Mank's gonna win some stuff, but I haven't seen it. Let's just throw it into some categories where it's nominated. So, solid pivot choice for me. I gotta get on the Sound of Metal train apparently.
So Stevie and I did a major spoilers on the Patreon where we talk about Sound of Metal. Mikey, I know you also saw it. Do you want to give a quick, some quick thoughts on it? I know you loved it too.
Yeah, Sound of Metal was great, and I really think if you have the chance, you should watch it with headphones on because the main character goes deaf, and they do a lot of cool stuff with the sound design in that movie. So that would be my one suggestion while you're watching it. I thought it was a great movie.
A category you should also use headphones to enjoy: Best Original Song. We're all over the place here. I picked "Fight for You" because I just watched Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm definitely going to pivot to "They're Singing in Icelandic" though, because that's the one I want to win. I didn't even see that was an option actually. But Kylo,
Fight for You as well.
I chose Husavik because Stevie would not stop talking about this song.
It's too
from
good,
this movie.
man.
It is. It's the best one. But I'm going to go with the second best one, in my opinion, and one that's got a much better shot to win.
I mean, much better odds.
Speak now. I didn't look at the odds. I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys.
You're talking the vocab you're using sounds like a man who looked at the odds.
that sounds like a man who listened to a lot of Collider podcasts. Now it's a deflect.
I don't even know what Collider is, so...
So Brett, you picked Speak Now. Josh,
I chose Speak Now too because I had a good talk with Brad about it.
I chose Husavik because it's the best one out of all of them. And if it doesn't, I mean, we already know the Oscars are a sham anyway, so fuck you guys. So I say Husavik. in protest and in just thinking it's the best one.
Geesh, I chose Hear My Voice because I was in the middle of listening to these and Pappy interrupted me with a Skype call. That's the only one I heard.
I was jamming to it though. It seems like a good one. So yeah, apologies. No Oscar music pod this year. I just haven't been as into the Oscars, and frankly, the Patreon content is taking a lot of time too. So next year we'll probably get back on that. But the original score was something we used to cover on that podcast. It looks like we have a lot of agreement. Everybody picked Soul. Stevie, you want to say something really quick about the Soul score?
Yeah, the Soul score is incredible.
Skull
Soar. It's absolutely incredible, especially the ending music when they're actually like flying to Earth for like the last time. It's fantastic. Also, just the music when Joe first gets to the afterlife. So amazing score.
I went with Maniri because I really liked the score, and I saw a lot of people on Letterboxd also saying that. It was a really good score. Jordan?
Chose Da 5 Bloods. This was another one that I feel like it's going to win something, and it's not nominated for too many of these, so I feel like it might have a chance. But again, another possible pivot for me.
Jordan has a lot of pivots that he owes.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
shit. This is what happens when I can't look at the odds.
We just revealed visual effects. Unanimous agreement with Tenet, except for you, Jordan. You went with both. These are both pods we spoiled, by the way. We did a Tenet podcast and a Mulan podcast.
Jordan doesn't listen to the Mulan one.
What possessed you to pick the live-action Mulan, Jordan?
I just didn't like Tenet that much. That's it. That's the only reason.
But did you see the visual effects in Tenet?
You couldn't hear it, but you could see it.
I was trying to understand them, Mikey.
Oh my god!
No, it's
By the
not
way,
about that.
double
Damn it.
nomination for Trent Reznor and original score. That's pretty impressive.
That's really cool, actually. Hopefully he doesn't split his own vote, though. That can happen sometimes.
He did Soul, though, so he's got a good shot, I'd take it, I imagine.
He did Soul? Holy shit.
Yep.
That's weird.
Kylo, really quick, how was Tenet aged in your mind? Like I said, you and Brett did a podcast on that. I think you gave it a yes. A pretty emphatic yes, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed Tenet. I've only seen it the one time. I got to see it in a theater. I don't really have the best home setup to rewatch it here again. So, in my mind, though, still a great film.
Just watching on the iPhone, the way Christopher Nolan intended. We're all the way to column O now on our Google spreadsheet. Best International Feature Film. We can just run through these real quick. I picked Another Round. I haven't seen it, but I heard really good things about it.
From Vegas?
I'm the only one who picked The Man Who Sold His Skin. Complete random. I'm probably going to keep it, though.
Not from Vegas, from Letterboxd. Whoever said that, by the way.
I chose Another Round. This was probably my favorite movie that I've seen in a real long time. I love Mads Mikkelsen, and I thought it was just a great movie all around.
It's about like sustaining an alcohol.
It's about getting your buzz
level,
on
right?
for a real long time every day.
But yeah, it gets away from him.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on than just drinking. But yeah, I also picked Another Round. It was a really good movie.
Josh.
Yeah, Another Round. Hello.
Yeah, I picked Another Round. Is the only one I heard of. So
it has Mads in it.
I ain't mad about it.
I heard that this might be actually nominated for Best Picture. So then when it wasn't, it was almost like, will it be the Best Picture of the JV International Squad?
It's coming off the bench.
Sixth Man of the Year award.
Jordan, I think it's down to you.
Another foreign phrase that I'll butcher, but Quo Vadis Ada?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Again, just a random guess.
What did you call me?
You heard me.
Jordan's either got to like hit it big or be the Neglia for 100% sure.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're
Does that
going
mean
against
looking at the
grain.
odds and being wrong?
No, I guess whoever loses has to do the punishment movie. But documentary feature, Josh, you're a documentarian. Why don't you kick us off? We'll just go down from there.
Yeah, as I was going through the documentary features and the short documentary list, The Octopus Teacher is the only one that sucked me in like it did. And the only negative I can say about it, because it's an amazing film that is so unique in so many ways. The only bad thing about it, such a missed opportunity to use Ringo's Octopus's Garden in the shade. Like, that could have really brought things home at the end. But if you've seen that movie, it would be absolutely hilarious if they reined it in with that at the end. But that's my choice.
Stevie, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, this was a spite pick for me. I tried to watch this 3 times and fell asleep all 3 times.
What?
I found this to be incredibly boring. And I could do a 2-hour podcast on the octopus. Pap knows that's like a majestic creature. But I will never watch this again, so I hope it wins.
You're insane. Sorry, it can't be a comfort film like The Gray.
I just finished watching that. Isn't that incredible?
The Gray?
How many pounds were the wolves in The Gray, Stevie?
At
If you had to
least
guess.
1,200 pounds. At least. Miniature Volvos, those things were.
I went with Crip Camp because alliteration wins awards. Jordan?
Octopus Teacher, just a guess.
Kylo, go around the bend.
Oh, we're going that way. All right. Mole Agent for me. I was the only one that picked this, which kind of, I'm starting to realize I'm likely going to lose this whole thing.
Don't discount the
to.
power of the pivot. Mikey?
I chose Time, just a complete guess, but I might change to the hentai known as My Octopus Teacher. Sounds very intriguing and erotic.
I picked My Octopus Teacher. I thought it was a really gorgeous thing. It was really, really cool and really sad and sweet. And I knew it complete.
When you wore a younger man's clothes.
Yep.
Film editing. Josh, you're also an editor. Let's just stay with the same order that we went with last time. Why did you pick The Trial of the Chicago 7?
Because I don't know much about these movies, man. Plead the fifth. This is the I chose The Trial of the 7, and I plead the fifth on why.
Fifth.
I like it.
Do you want me to go? Okay. I chose Trial of Chicago 7 today. Pat made a really good point to me, which is film editing no longer counts ever since Bohemian Rhapsody won. One of Brett's favorite movies of that year. And so I picked the most ordinary movie of all the bunch, which was Trial of the Chicago 7. So that's why I picked that.
What's that supposed to mean?
What's that?
What's ordinary about it? Do you watch it?
Yeah, there's nothing special about the editing, Brett.
I know, but you called it an ordinary movie, so...
Yeah, it's a very ordinary edit. There's nothing special about the editing.
Okay, ordinary
It's solid.
edit. Okay,
It's a
you didn't say that.
solidly
Okay,
edited
that's
movie.
okay. I'll take your word for it. I don't know anything about that.
This is Pappy. I went with the very ordinary Trial of the Chicago 7.
Apparently, we're doing names again. This is Jordan. I chose Nomadland.
Mix it up. Say no sometimes.
I chose the wonderfully edited masterpiece, The Trial of the Chicago 7.
I really like that movie, by the way, for the record. Really like it.
That's my favorite one.
Mikey, I chose The Father because I heard it does like some cool stuff with his dementia.
Oh, yeah.
So I figured that came into account in terms of the editing and kind of messing with you. So, although Sound of Metal probably could win, I don't know anything about all the other movies though. So
I picked the Sound of Metal.
It's a lone pick for you, Brett. Were you anything behind that conviction?
It won SAG or something.
Cinematography. Interesting. A little bit all over the place. I'll go first again. I picked Nomadland because people talk a lot about that movie, and it's probably going to win some awards. It seems like one it's going to win. I'll go back to the old order. Kylo, what did you pick?
I went with Mank. Just trying to fit in some Manks.
It's a good strategy.
Bold strategy.
I chose Nomadland, just a guess. I didn't think Judas had anything special. That was like the only one I saw in this category.
Nomadland.
I chose No Man Land. I actually went, like, I scrolled through the trailers of all of them to base, like, which ones I just thought looked the prettiest. It's the one I went on.
I don't know if this will change your guys' opinion, but Frances McDormand takes a dump in a bucket inside her camper. So, and you can hear it.
But is there good cinematography?
Yeah, was it shot cool?
What about the
Well,
sound editing there?
Probably better when she's full frontal laying in the stream at 60-something years old. That's pretty good.
Damn.
Can you send me the timestamps?
Yes, I can send you the timestamps. Sorry, I just
Stevie, I
just
think-
messed around.
Stevie, I think you're still to go.
Yeah, I picked Judas and the Black Messiah. I thought it was shot in a really cool way at times, and I refuse to support Nomadland, so there you go.
Why?
Amazon, bro. Can't do it.
It just looks boring.
It's Hulu.
Interesting.
Just revealed the animated feature film category. We are again unanimous, except for one outlier, Jordan, who will be battling Kylo maybe for
Jesus.
the Gollum spot. Jordan, why'd you pick Onward?
This was another one where I forgot how much people loved Soul. Also in the last category, I chose Nomadland, Pappy, just for the record.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I forgot to do that. Yeah.
No, it's all good. I haven't seen these movies, and like I said, forgot how popular Soul was and how good people said it was. Just haven't seen it yet.
I've heard the same about Onward. I heard it's really good.
It is good.
Onward is good.
Yeah.
We did a podcast on Onward. We're getting down to the last few here. So as a reminder, in the event of a tie, which is now more likely that there's less categories, the tiebreaker will be from the last category we read backwards to the first category we read, meaning that Best Picture would be the tiebreaker, then Directing, then Actress and Actor, then Actor in a Supporting Role, then Actress in a Leading Role, or Supporting Role, etc. So keep that in mind for your pivots. These picks get more important as they go on. But Adapted Screenplay, Jordan, since I forgot you, you can go first, and we can go down and around the bend from there. What did you pick for Adapted Screenplay?
I wasn't trying to put on the guilt, Pappy.
I feel bad about it, though. It's my fault.
I chose Nomadland again because just the things that I've read about it. It's one that I actually do want to watch. The only other one I've seen here is Borat 2, and it was fine, but yeah.
Kylo?
Well, I chose Borat 2. I'm the only one that chose it. I just thought it was funny that it was in the list. So
I chose The Father just because I think I heard it was a play.
Yeah, it's a play.
So probably only helps its chances.
Yeah, I also picked that because it's based off a popular play, and I think it was really well done. So
I chose Nomadland. I wanted to get some nomads in there. It's going to be a darling this year at the Oscars.
Nomadland.
This is my one pivot. Can I pivot, Pap?
Yeah, you can pivot now. Go for it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm going to pivot to One Night in Miami.
You did pick Nomadland, and you said earlier that you refused to support
I
that
know,
movie.
but I was filling this out as fast as I could go.
And
I
now you
wanted to
supporting
do it live. So
To One Night in Miami.
One Night in Miami, sir.
that was good.
Can you update it?
Yeah.
I picked Nomadland. I was just trying to Tetris some nomads in there. Get some picks in there. Original screenplay. Jordan, let's go back to you. What did you pick?
I had Minari because that's the other one that I've heard recently gaining momentum, not from my Vegas guys, but just from the Twitterverse.
I also went with Minari. I still need to watch it. Apparently, by all accounts, it's good, but I think it's going to win something, so I picked it for this.
Yeah, I gave it to Minari as well. I wanted to win something, so this is what I thought it could win.
I went with Promising Young Woman.
I also took up The Promising Young Woman.
Josh, why did you not pick Minari? You saw that at Sundance
Yeah.
a very, very long time ago.
I did, and I do think they're going to pick up an award here coming up, actually in the next category. But I just think, I don't know, The Young Woman, the synopsis of it, I just thought it was more of a wacky original thing. Like, truly, Minari is just like coming of age story. Like, I don't know. It's more about the characters.
Stevie, what did you pick?
I went with Chicago 7. I just feel like if you're going to pick something for Best Picture, you might as well attach the original screenplay to it as well. So that's what I went with.
I also went with
Stevie
Shy
reveals his
7.
pick.
I picked that. I think it's going to bring home a few awards
Yeah.
on the evening. Oh yeah, Jordan, you start. Or wait, have you gone yet, Jordan?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
You're good, Pat.
Actress in a supporting role. I'll start off. I went with Olivia Colman because I think that The Father's going to take home some awards, and she was fucking amazing in that movie. Highly recommend The Father. Kylo, we'll keep this order. What'd you pick?
I picked Maria Baklova from Borat. I follow her on Instagram, and she just seems to be extremely popular. Like, in terms of, like, she's always sharing, like, critics and interviews just, like, completely praising her. So, like, if you watch her Instagram, you'll think she's, like, the greatest actress in the world. So that's why I picked her.
Yeah, I heard she was a sleeper in that movie. Like, she was actually incredible as Borat's daughter or whatever. But I went with Olivia Colman just because I think the father's going to win a couple more awards.
I went with Yoon Yoo Jong.
Well done. Any reason behind that, Brett?
I think she's just, I don't know. I've heard the most chatter about her.
Chatter from your friends in Nevada?
From
his
bookies. I also chose her as well. I think this is where Minari can score, and she's like a legend in South Korea, so it could be kind of like a nod to a career of great acting for her. And yeah, I really do like Minari, Pap, and I did see that at Sundance. I'm very curious to know if anything changed from 2019 Sundance to it being released on widespread earlier this year. It's just kind of interesting to me.
Seems like a million years ago that you were at Sundance.
Yeah.
Stevie, who'd you pick?
I just did process of elimination, and I went with Yoon Yoo Jung. I think that's somewhat correct. I already think Olivia Colman got her big win with The Favorite. Glenn Close, no. No one else really came to mind, so I landed on there.
Glenn Close, but no cigar.
Yeah, Glenn
Again,
Close, but
sure.
not in that movie. No.
I had the same thought process as kind of Stevie and Josh, kind of process of elimination and just chatter, but Yoon for me as well.
Only 5 categories left. Actor and supporting role. Kylo, let's just go straight down the list. Who did you pick?
Danny Kaye, Judas and the Black Messiah.
I chose Lakeith Stanfield.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel
Kaluuya, he just absolutely destroyed that role, so there you go.
Same. Oh, wait, no, I picked Sacha Baron Cohen.
You have Sasha, yeah.
Oh,
boy, pivot,
pivot. I think I picked Sacha Baron Cohen because people liked Borat and Chicago 7 again. But I thought I picked Daniel Kaluuya, I swear to God, up until that last moment. Sorry about that. Jordan, who did you pick?
Danny Kaye, all the way.
Actor in a supporting role? Kylo, why don't you kick us off again?
In a leading role,
Oh, in a leading role, sorry.
I picked Chadwick Boseman because he died recently.
Oof. Damn it.
It's mean.
It's Brett's strategy.
Yeah, Sam, I heard a lot of chatter about him already, like, as a lock for this, so just Chadwick.
Yeah, I picked Chadwick Boseman. I mean, his performance was good, but I mean, I'm going to be honest, it's just all the cards kind of fell for him. I don't think he was anywhere near as strong as Anthony Hopkins, but it was a good performance, and it'll be decently well deserved. He's a good actor.
Brett cursing on the dead.
I'm not. I like Chadwick Boseman.
I heard Brett and someone else separately say that they thought it was Anthony Hopkins' best acting of his entire career, which is pretty crazy. But I chose Chadwick Boseman as well anyway.
Chadwick.
Yeah, I picked the person who deserves it, Anthony Hopkins.
This is
not how
another
these awards work.
Mank pick.
It's not, but that's how I vote.
This isn't a vote.
Another Mank pick for me. Gary
That's
Oldman.
how you vote
but
when you don't see the odds.
When I have not.
I like it, Pappy.
Jordan?
Oh,
Choose,
sorry, I was
Jordan?
on mute. My bad. I chose Gary Oldman. Another Mank pick. Kylo, was it you earlier that I was agreeing with that said that Mank is going to win some, and so we have to pick it somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You gotta
it's
fit in the
not
main.
been anywhere in really anybody else's picks besides you and I. So
Jordan's dank on Mank.
Remember you picked like all the Bohemian Rhapsody like in every category? And you won?
what year was that?
2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that was definitely when I looked at the odds.
actress in a leading role. Brett, we haven't kicked it off with you yet. You, I think, have seen by far and away the most of any of these movies. What made you pick the lead actress from Promising Young Woman?
Because she, I think, was the best in this. I was telling Pat this one's going to be really tightly contested because there were like 4 major awards, and each of the 4 women, not including Vanessa Kirby, all won those awards. So I think it's going to come down to her, Viola Davis, and Viola Davis is in like 25% of Ma Rainey, and Carey Mulligan is the, main focus of the other movie. So
the Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, her and a couple others, but yeah, I think she was the best. I liked that script a lot, and I thought she was really good.
Was there like a big controversy with Carey Mulligan? Was it this movie that like someone said she wasn't pretty enough to play it or something like that?
The guy kind of intimated that because what's her face? Who's the Australian? Who's really pretty?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie was an executive producer, but literally they wanted him to get fired, and he was like, "I didn't say that." He's like, "I'm 60 years old and I'm gay. I do not." He's like, "I do not judge women on how attractive they are." But yeah, it kind of like. People thought he was saying that she was not attractive enough to be the hot girl in the movie, but I don't think it was meant to be that.
Insidious?
Yeah.
Unlike Brett, where last pod that I just edited, Mad Max Fury Road, quote, "I'm allowed to have opinions about women's attractiveness." Brett Kelly.
Yeah.
Check that out on the Patreon.
Come cancel me, I guess.
Or you can hear our picks on which... woman we think is the most attractive in Mad Max Fury Road.
I didn't say that he couldn't have an opinion. Other people did.
Josh, what's your opinion on who is the best actress in a leading role last year?
I also heard this was going to be like the tightest of all the categories, possibly like the most unknown. And I went with Viola Davis. Not much to it. I really like Carey Mulligan. Love her from Drive. She's great.
Real human being, Stevie.
I went with Carey Mulligan. She seems, I think, on the younger side of these actresses, and I think the Oscars want to push that. And also, I think she crushed this performance. So, Carey Mulligan.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Frankie McDormand as a hedge in case Nomadland ends up winning a lot more awards than I was planning on it winning. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't in the loop, apparently, on it's Carey Mulligan or Viola Davis, and then it's a tight race, but maybe I wasn't reading the right odds papers. But Jordan, who did you pick?
I went Viola Davis. She's just a powerhouse, so most of the time, if I don't know something specific about the others, I would choose her.
What do you consider odds? Can I ask that?
I'm just joking. I would say literally looking up the Las Vegas odds of who is the favorite. Yeah, if you use any other context.
I read and stuff, but trust me, they're all in it, man, except for Vanessa Kirby. I mean, they all have a legit shot.
Except for Frances McDormand.
Kyla, who do you think has the best legit shot?
I also went with Carey Mulligan. She was great in that movie. And, yeah, that's why I picked her.
So dark.
I chose Viola Davis. Just Jordan's reasoning. Just she usually locks stuff up whenever she's nominated.
Okay, we started off with Brett that time. So the last two here, potentially a tiebreaker, almost for sure, in the event of a tiebreaker. Directing, interesting mix. Kylo, I'm going to go straight down the line.
I really was having a hard time deciding this one. I picked David Fincher just because it was getting close to the pod and I couldn't quite decide. I might change it. I don't know.
I chose Thomas Vinterberg with Another Round. I just love that movie. Minari would have been a second choice, but I really want Another Round to win.
I mean, I went with Chloe Zhao just because I think it's going to be Chloe Zhao. So,
Chloe for me.
I went with Chloe Zhao because that's all I've heard about on film Twitter. So, Chloe Zhao.
Yeah, Chloe Zhao again for the hedge for me.
I did Lee Isaac Chung. I think Minari might sweep some of these bigger ones.
Last but not least, speaking of sweeps, Stevie, you have accurately predicted the Best Picture 2 years in a row?
I'm just saying, I was picking it when no one else would.
And
mean-
you picked La La Land, and it kind of won for a second. So for like 5 minutes, you picked the Best Picture winner 3 years in a row.
I'm telling
Pretty
you,
impressive.
like everybody laughed at me, and I said Green Book's going to win Best Picture. People laughed. People wouldn't stop laughing about it. And who won? It was I. So
Everyone's still laughing at that, though.
yeah,
The laughs echoed across this great nation of ours. But Stevie, let's start with you, the man who has accurately predicted the Best Picture. Like I said, 2.5 years in a row. What did you pick for the 2021 Oscars? Last pick of the round.
Trial of the Chicago 7. I don't think it's going to be close. I think in a year with the pandemic, no theaters, no animosity towards Netflix, I think Netflix is going to finally get their big win for Best Picture, and I think this is also the safest bet.
I actually went on that same logic too. I think it might be Netflix's time, pandemic, and there's a lot of familiar Oscar faces in this movie, and I think it appeals to a lot of Oscar voters' sensibilities with the underlying message. And I don't want Nomadland to win because it looks boring.
Yeah.
Jordan, what'd you pick?
I chose Minari, but Pappy, just to clarify on the pivot, do we have to announce it on the pod or just before
Yes.
Sunday night?
No, well, before we end this pod, right when we get done, you have to say your pivot out loud, so it's
Okay.
posteriorized.
Okay. Yes, I chose Minari.
I chose The Father. I'm the only one that chose it. Haven't even seen it.
What made you pick it?
I was thinking like Anthony Hopkins. I was like, he's an old white dude in a movie that's pretty good. Seems like a very safe bet.
I chose Sound of Metal just to spite Chicago 7. I'm never going to watch that.
Respect.
I would very, very much like to be wrong, and I'd really like Stevie. Well, not really Stevie because he's super arrogant, but
Oh, Jesus. Whoa. Jesus
just
Christ.
on this, Stevie, not
My
in general.
God.
You're relatively humble. I'd like for Chicago. Trial of Chicago 7 was my favorite film of all the ones I've watched.
But what did Vegas say?
I didn't look at Vegas. I just look at Nomadland.
Almost
as
got
one.
him again.
Nomadland is of the 8 films was my least favorite, but I think it's going to win. Unfortunately,
Yeah, from what I read too, Nomadland is it.
You guys are the worst.
reading is not looking at the odds, man. I read. I'm educated.
It's true.
Yeah, Brett reads Entertainment Weekly. He's educated.
I could totally read.
Actually, I
read
didn't
so
really
hard.
read it. I just saw.
Start thinking about your your pivots now, boys. By the way, Stevie. Oh, you already went.
I already
Yes, that's
did my
everybody.
pivot. I'm good.
So Stevie, you pivoted. Yeah, I said just call out your pivot.
I
But
need to look.
we got to do it before we break the pod. I'm gonna fuck. I'm gonna pivot off Frances McDormand to Viola Davis. Anybody else want to pivot?
I gotta look. I mean, I think my picks are probably pretty perfect.
Says the most humble person on the podcast.
Yeah.
You're relatively humble.
I'll change my supporting actor. I'll do DK, Donkey Kong, Daniel Kaluuya.
Cue the DK rap.
Any other pivots, boys?
Brett, how sure are you that Nomadland is going to win?
How sure am I? I don't know. Over 50%?
All right, I'm going to pivot Father to Nomadland.
Love it.
Nomadland.
Jordan has a pivot left. Josh has a pivot left. Brett has a pivot left.
The thing about Nomadland is there's only like 2 or 3 real actors in it. It's all really the rest of the people are nomads, so it's extra impressive. That's where I give that movie a lot of credit. Those are real nomads who didn't even really know they were shooting a movie, and it comes off and it looks really pretty, and it's really well done for what it is.
I'm pivoting actor in a leading role to Chadwick. Do I just put it in there, Pap?
Yeah, you just update it. Wise pivot.
Smart.
Josh, I think you're the last one.
Oh man. I don't think I'm gonna pivot. No pivots.
Love it. Diamond hands, Josh.
I am also not going to pivot.
There we go.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
then I want to pivot. I think I want to pivot.
Paper hands, Josh.
I'm gonna switch. Nah. Diamond Hand. Diamond Hand.
Diamond Hand Josh wins the
Triple
day.
Agent
There you
Josh.
have it. You'll hear the results of this competition when a punishment episode comes out. There might be a Jack and Jill episode before that. Who's to say? What
Might be.
You never know. The only person who does know is the spoiler man. Please take us away.
Special thank you to our patrons: Matt Troll, Brother Brian, Druid King, Nick. If you'd like to request an episode, hear your name read by Spoiler Man, or even just help us make podcasts, please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast. Our email is podcastspoilers@gmail.com. Twitter is @spoilers_pod. Our Instagram is Podcast Spoilers. It's lit. Josh Hensley from the Rutabaga wrote our theme song. Please support this podcast by leaving us an iTunes review. To do this, 1. Search for Movie Spoilers. 2. Click on our orange Spoilers Bowl logo and scroll all the way to the bottom. 3. Leave us some stars and some words.
That was spoilers.
That was Spoilers.